Greetings, intrepid viewers. So here we are. I'm Lena Rodriguez, coming to you from tomorrow. I think that's going to be my new tagline. Okay, so trying to keep on top of things on a day-by-day, hour-by-hour basis. Obviously, more and more people are being charged. Duh. But what charges? It worries me that they're going to be charged with things like unlawful entry and destruction of property, like they're half a dozen teenagers who break into the local TV store or something. I'm sorry, breaking into the Capitol building, urinating in various corners, the stealing of files and things that are being sold on eBay, strolling around with the speaker's lectern and then being waved out the door, just letting you know the rest of the world does not get it. And still the Republicans are wittering on. It's apparent that Pence won't go the 25th. And personally, I think that's because he's hugely terrified. Apparently, the marauding mob were saying, "Where's Pence? Where's Pence?" And on Twitter, it was "Hang Pence, hang Pence." This isn't the language of democracy. This is the language of ISIS, And so if they go with these sort of little pissy nonsense charges, it's not good enough. These people are marauding around Georgia and other places, officials have to go into safe houses. If it's not stamped on now, you're in big trouble. It absolutely is time to stand up. And that failure of security, for those of you who are interested, there's an excellent article in Business Insider. And why it's interesting is it's security from the Allies. Remember when your allies used to be the UK and France and Germany and not Moscow and Istanbul, right? Those allies. And they were saying they do joint manoeuvres with the US high-level security. And they said it was just Mickey Mouse. It failed at the most fundamental levels, like there are degrees and strategies of things to be breached, and they blew it all. It was so bad it couldn't even be put down to incompetence, and it does look like there was some insider involvement for it to happen. It was that bad. We all knew that these armed nutters were on their way there. Just disgusting and a complete failure, just beyond description. But poor old Pence, in his, hypocritical heart, I even almost feel sorry for him. He's terrified and he's paralysed by that fear. The point is, Lindsey Graham was also monstered at the airport and so forth. Republicans aren't even safe from the conspiracy-driven absolute woof-woofs, So we're going to have a look at this week. So let's have a look at this week. Impeachment, articles of impeachment. Oh, I'm sorry, there isn't time. Mitch has said they won't even talk about it till the 19th. I understand the argument that by doing this, he won't be able to run in 2024. So I can see that. But at the same time, it's such a limp response. Words fail me. Words fail me. Okay. And I will say for Nancy, and intrepid viewers will know, I have been critical of Nancy on occasions. However, compared with Mr. Nice Guy, Fluffy Lamb Biden, sweetheart, it is not time to turn the page and help the nation heal until this is sorted. And Schumer, who couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag, at least with Nancy, she's a fighter. She would love to have the Yeti's testicles and wear them as earrings. And so go, Nancy, Go, Nancy. So they'll go through the motions of the impeachment and, you know, a few more GOP will support it, but not enough. It's not going to actually happen, or if it does, it's too late. I mean, it's an inadequate response. I don't know why all the lawmakers aren't calling in the chief prosecutors in the district and going, what can we charge these people with tonight? Because break and enter and all that stuff's not going to be enough. So let's have a look at this week. I mean, hanging pence, that's terrible language. It's Klan language. It's ISIS language. It's just disgusting, no matter who it's directed at. Appalling. Why is Giuliani still walking around? Where are the teeth when you need it? Everyone has commented, of course, since day one. Imagine if the protesters were black, what the response would have been. And I would refer you to Joe Scarborough's program, Morning Joe, a few days ago, where he dropped the F-bomb. And he said up front, he said, look, we know if those protesters were black, they would have been shot in the face. And if they were Muslim, they would have been shot by snipers from the roof. And we waved these guys through. Just shocking, inadequate response on the day and now. Cranky Auntie is here. Okay, I'm sure you share my aggravation more so probably than I do because you're living it. But I do feel it, so please keep those comments coming because I do love to know your personal perspective. Having said all that, having got the gripes out there, it's important to stay calm. It's really important to earth yourself every day to deal with this. So stay strong, stay absolutely centered, stay sane in the face of the madness. It will play out. There are bigger things afoot. But let's just look at this week. What's going to happen this week? Here we go. Okay. Let's hope. So this week is still going to be a massive burden. And I think this is talking about you guys, meaning Americans, as well as lawmakers. Oh, first digression viewers, I'm very pleased that the hometown newspapers of Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz are calling for their resignations. I'm only on lime cordial, so let me just have a sip. This is the burden. However, it is also the card of the martyr. So you're going to see these small p patriots probably trying to make a martyr out of someone, which is all the more reason these charges have to go fast and go hard. Do not leave room for this to expand. They're going to do it, but do not waffle. So be prepared for that. So the Four of Swords, traditionally the card of retreat, but take note of the stained glass window. This is the puzzle to be solved. So what to do with him is the problem. Is he still in Camp David? Can someone answer that question? Interesting, they took the Yeti to Camp David. Partly it be security. Pity they weren't as lax with that security as they were with the lawmakers of the nation, but that's another thing. Focusing. So I draw your attention to the puzzle to be solved. What are they going to do from here? I think this is a Republican dilemma, right? He's basically frozen in this moment. It isn't to say he can't be mega dangerous in the next 10 days or whatever, of course he can. But at the moment, they're sitting on him. And don't you love the Twitter account finally being frozen? Now, here comes Justice wrestling with this decision, what to do with him. Now, I just heard he's going to try pardoning the kids. Look, regardless of what the Yeti does and doesn't do, justice is here. So please take heart. It better act a bit more decisively than it has been. This week, we're still in this week, about Wednesday. Yeah, I'd say about Wednesday, the devil. There's going to be another major development on Wednesday, right? Now, don't forget the irony of QAnon and everything else saying that the Dems are Satan worshippers and kill children and all this rubbish. Ironically, this is more than a cult. They worship him. His followers are disciples. But if you look at the chains around their necks, the whole point of the devil card in modern tarot is you can take off those chains. So I think a few people will start taking off the chains, but not enough. It'll still be a movement, but more will take off the chains because perhaps they're offended by people urinating in the nation's capital and rampaging. Perhaps. But the devil is at work. I'd put it midweek at about Wednesday. Page of Pentacles. This is a young person cutting through. Now, young person cutting through with a significant message. It might be a Pete Buttigieg type figure who actually, because he's so brilliant at putting really complicated things into 2 sentences, he might be able to do that at some sort of meeting. Or it could even be one of the squad or something. Normally they're marginalised by the old school, but there's something, either a young person or someone representing young people who makes the argument, that's what it is. They make the argument that if we let this go ahead, what is the message to young people of this nation? I think that might be the thing that actually penetrates. But they're still not going to act. They're going to have their new perspective about how does this look to the next generation. Well, not good, pet. So not good. But they can't bring themselves to act. It's so pathetic. It is beyond pathetic. I can't find the adjectives to describe how craven and sad and depleted in morality the high and righteous GOP is. Walking away. Now, who is walking away? We all know who we'd like to walk away, but God, we're a bit over that weight, aren't we? Okay, so who's walking away? Who's walking away? Who's walking away? Oh. I think it might actually be one of Trump's criminal offspring, because they're going to take something with them illegally. And this is the card of traveling. I think you're going to see one or more. Oh, that's interesting. It could be Ivanka and Jared take off to Tel Aviv. It could be any of them, but I think it's either one of the Trump sort of grifter kids or someone high up who's on the run taking something with them. That's very important. We'll see if that transpires. Now, Pence is, on the one hand, as we speak, the most powerful man in America. He could invoke the 25th. He's also the weakest man in America. Because he has secrets and he's open to blackmail, and also because, as I said, I think he's totally, genuinely, utterly freaked out. So let's just have a quick look at Mike Pence. Now, okay, tell me about Mike Pence. God, after the 20th, they're going to need snow plows in there to clean up not just the garbage from the rampaging mob, but that's dreadful. And them selling these things on eBay. Look, the rest of the world cannot understand this. Cannot understand it. Giuliani talking about trial by combat. Rush Limbaugh saying, you know, these are the real revolutionaries who much in fact. This narrative has to be strangled. It cannot continue. Pence. What's Pence going to do? Oh, Lindsey Graham, just flashing my mind. Was Lindsey Graham drunk when he gave that speech on the floor after all this? If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. I think he was drunk. I don't criticise anyone after being, you know, what they all went through, how terrifying that would be. I don't care if he had half a dozen drinks, but I suspect he was drunk when he said that. Okay, so Mike Pence. Oh, how often do I get reversals, viewers? Like never. Okay. Page of Pentacles. This is him, I think, in his junior status to Trump. He sucked up to Trump for 4 years, knowing he was an immoral, moronic, vicious, incompetent person. He saddled himself to him all that time. But now, too late, he's seen the light, and he did it for money, but also not just about money. He saw it as the best thing for his own career, again, putting the personal before the country. The reverse card was Libra. That's peace, harmony, and balance reversed. It is so the opposite of that. So it's discord and trauma. He gets the 5 of Cups. He can't believe, and I find this hard to believe, that he can't believe that Trump threw him to the wolves, you know, in that speech before the break-in and all of that, going, oh, you know, Pence let us down, sort of thing. He threw him to the wolves. Absolutely broken-hearted. This made him very angry. And because of Pence's lack of emotion, you wouldn't know if he was furious or he just got out of bed and was happy. You know, you can't read the man. But there's an element to this that he wants to fight back if he can overcome his fear, his genuine fear. You could argue he's a marked man now anyway, with the rat bag militia, you know, fake patriots, right? He's a marked man anyway. He may as well be a marked man and be a hero. So in other words, I'm getting a sliver that he could do something, but I'm not thinking. How will Pence fight back? How will Pence fight back? How will Pence fight back? Oh, he gets 2 major arcanas. Oh, okay. Now, these are big cards. These are powerful cards. The Magician, transformation and power. like any form of magic, like any form of power, it can be used for the greater good or for forces of destruction. The Chariot, moving forward at pace, he gets Mars. This is the fighting planet. This is the energy of the marauding, horrifying masses. No, they're not the masses. That's the wrong term. The mob, the mob, the mob. This might only be a fantasy of Pence's, and he might just take a handful of Valium a day till the 20th and do nothing. I'm not ruling that out. Okay, but this is what he wants to do. He is so furious. He wants to employ the power that he still has and change things radically. Will he do it? I don't know. I'm not thinking so. Oh, do you want me to ask? Oh, okay, but he has this power and he doesn't realise quite how much power he's got in a way. He was shaken, as I'm sure they all were, but he was very shaken. He was called out by name as they went through the halls. What's the Magician about and the Chariot about? Oh, I think I know. I think I know. Yeah, I do know. Okay. We're looking at this week. I don't know if he's going to agree to go for it, and I think it's more unlikely than not. But you know what this means? This means he'll be prepared to testify against him when the court cases start rolling. He's not going to be pleading the fifth. Mars's action. By then he will have digested and swallowed some of the terror and the fear and feel stronger. And he will add weight and momentum to it. I hope that's right. All right, beloved ones. So please keep me posted from your corner of the world. Okay? So it's bye for now, but not for long. See ya. Ciao, ciao, ciao.